because mom, in her way, she was young, loved mama, but she was like when she was young, she was like, uh, 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 what do you call it? A drill sergeant with her expectations. Okay, and she would give me the money for me and Henry to go catch the bus to go get our haircuts. And she said, "Okay, here's the money for you to take the bus. Here's the money for your haircut, which was $1.50 back then. And here's a quarter for you to get a bottle of pop and some peanuts, and a quarter for Henry to get a bottle of pop and peanuts. And tell the barber I want him to give you the Harry Belafonte look." See, that's what she would tell. And see, I would carry out her instructions to the letter, because that's, being the oldest, that's what I was supposed to do. But when we get to the barber shop, they would have a picture of all of these handsome fellas that had gotten their hair cut or done. And I think it was put together by, down here in Temple, Texas, Temple Barber College or something like that. And these guys would be so sharp, and some of them would have processed hair. And Henry be looking at that. He said, "That's what I want." That processed look. And I would say, "No, man, mama ain't going for that. She wants us, I tell the barber, she wants us to have the Harry Belafonte haircut." See? So that lasted for a while. But your brother was the first one to get his hair processed. And so I think I was 14 and he was 12. And he and his buddies, because he had a little crew of fellas, and that was the first thing they did, was to process their hair, and you put that lye and stuff in your hair, and you stay out in the sun and so forth, your hair was going to turn blonde. And so Henry had that blonde hair and that complexion that had uh, gotten another shade darker and so forth. And he used to have some jitterbug shoes that he bought from Flag Brothers. See, he was the first one that got jitterbug shoes. I didn't. I'm going along with mom, so in terms of how I'm supposed to dress. But I'm loving his thing. But see, with me, she was a little bit more strict. But with Henry, when you look back at his photo and so forth, when he was a little baby, he had this smile. And this smile was so captivating. Even when I was a kid, I said, that smile neutralizes our mom. Because that's all he would have to do is smile at her. And she would she would melt and wouldn't get on him. But she'd get me sometimes, And she would but me and Henry would try to tell our brother Richard, you know, not to follow our mom so closely when he would be uh, trying to advise her, because Richard's 4 years younger than I am. And Richard, I used to call him my rudder, because even up to adulthood, I could call him prior to a certainty of a move that I was about to make. You could be 90% sure yourself, but a lot of times I said, let me just see what my brother's going to say. And he would generally call a shot right down the line. It didn't phase him about um, what was going to happen. He's going to tell you the truth. And we tell him, Richard, don't go in the hallway with mom talking like that. And he'd be walking right behind her, telling the truth. And that hallway was about this wide. And then all of a sudden, me and Henry know it. Boom. We knew that head had hit that head had hit that wall. And then he started hollering and so forth. And we said, man, we told you don't go in the hallway with mom with that, you know, because mom could always, uh, I think she had to respect that, but she just didn't like you being right up on her, enforcing that truth. And Richard, boy, he was always a type of kid, not just a kid, all the way up through his adulthood. He was like that, He's going to tell the truth, and sometimes not to his benefit.